Welcome back. Here we are. I think this is our third live episode today. We did two this morning, I believe. So here's our third one. I got my work done this morning, did my photo shoot, came back, took a nap, apparently just passed out. So we're a little groggy this morning, but we're going to get going here. Well, this afternoon, I guess. But got a cup of coffee, just going to do a little relaxing trip here. Figured I'd turn it on for a quick mission here. So let's see what we got going on. I still got to do the flight plan here. We're halfway organized this morning. So we're going from KCTB over to 97MT. And in translation to that, we're going from Cutbank International Airport to Cabin Creek Landing Airport. So we got to finish up our flight plan here. So we're going to 3,381 foot asphalt runway that we're going to be landing on. We're going to select runway number 20. And that creates a 5 nautical mile right by the lake. What lake is that? Lone Lake. We'll leave it at that. That sounds reasonable. And we're going to take off on hopefully runway number 23, but I doubt they'll put us on that. They never do. It's like 50-50. Sometimes they put us there, sometimes they don't. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do parking on this one. So we'll pick that we'll take off from runway 23. ATC will probably give us something different, but we'll start off on parking spot number 19. Since we haven't done that in a minute. So we're going to export this plan, I think. And we're going to do runway number 15 for our start. A little sneak peek to our Hawaii trip plan there. I've been working hard on trying to get that complete. Alright, KCTB to 97MT. We'll save that. We'll move that off to the side here. We'll go over here. We got our TBM 930. We're going to load up that flight plan. 97MT. There we have it. We're starting off on parking deck that we were selecting runway number 20. All right, let's get this thing going, shall we? Let's see, NeoFly. Did I accept the position yet? I have not, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so this is a 3-passenger mission to Cabin Creek Landing. $15,000. 97. This says 97 nautical miles, but that's a direct flight. We'll look at. We got 99 nautical miles on the flight plan, so we will accept that job. We'll go here. We are here. Snoop is in the air. Belgium is resting. Casper is resting as well, is that correct? Yeah, he's healing. And yeah, Hurricane is also in the air. This might be her last flight for the day. Oh no, she's got plenty of stuff. Plenty of health in her for another flight. Alright. Focus, back on here. Let's get to the runway, shall we?
Welcome back, Captain. It looks like the weather is perfect for flying. Hello, pilot. Your passengers are waiting for you. Let me know when we can send them.
Alright, so we're going to have to...
Pilot from dispatch. Boarding passenger. Please stand by.
Should have known better to talk. I knew they were coming. NeoFly with their announcements. So I'll shut up and get the plane ready.
Looks like everyone is on board, pilot. Let's get out of here.
Alright, we got live weather, live time. We are going to use the checklist because I am tired. And we're going to start our engine here. The 903 or 930. What are we in? Yeah. TBM 930 is definitely one of the more complicated planes to start up manually. There's a lot to do compared to some of the other planes. We're going to make sure that we got all our taxi lights and stuff going on.
Looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Making sure our NG is 30% for 30 seconds. We're going to do a fuel bleed test and all that good stuff. Alright, we're going to get the engine warmed up here. Let's take a quick look at our surroundings. It would help. It would help if I had the remote plugged in. There you go. I had it unplugged because I was downloading photos off my camera, so I had to unplug it. Alright, let's check our surroundings here. We got enough room to move out of here, and we're going to auto-complete this page, checking flight controls, making sure our flaps are up. We're going to feather our throttle twice. Boom, there's one, there's two. We're going to keep that park and brake on for a second. Alright, so our checklist is complete. We're going to contact ATC here, and we're going to announce our taxi.
Kilo Charlie Tango Bravo traffic Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is taxiing to runway 23.
Alright, so we're taxiing to runway 23. We need taxiway B. Alright, excuse me, Mr. Gentleman there. Don't mind me. We're just going to get everything going here. We didn't check to see if our taxi lights were on. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I think it might be too late. Nice, they are on. Just want to make sure I'm compliant. Alright, we're going to make a right here. On to taxiway B. It's a narrow taxiway for sure. We haven't done an ILS trip lately. Maybe we'll do that. It's a lot more ATC involved. Alright. So, we're going to come to a stop here. If we can. Boom. Alright, so we're on these signs over here. Taxiway B, lining up for runway number 23. Anybody ever notice what those signs were? That's what they are. Alright, so we're going to go to ATC here. We're going to announce our takeoff. We're going in the west direction today.
Kilo Charlie Tango Bravo, traffic Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha, taking off runway 23 departure to the west.
We're going to make some adjustments here for safety. We need to get to 9,000 feet because of some mountains. Alright, so we got that adjusted. We're going to release our parking brake here and head on out to runway number 23. And we're going full throttle. Alright, we are above the white arc already. So we're gonna get lift off here.
Bon voyage, aircrew. We hope to see you again soon.
We got positive rate climb. We are good to go. That was probably one of the smoothest liftoffs. I wasn't expecting that would be in quiet. So we don't have any pitot heat on. They never put that on and I forgot to turn it on. So there you go. We got that off. We cleared out the warning. What do we got going on now? Alright, so our oil pressure is a little high, which means that we do not need all this power. So we're going to reduce a little bit of power. We'll get rid of that warning. We'll get our tracking on for our flight plan. And let's go ahead and take a look outside. See what we're looking at here. Live weather, live time in Montana. Oh, before we do that, let's go ahead and pull up our landing gear. I'm forgetting everything this morning, or this afternoon. Alright, there's the mountains off in the distance that we're going to have to get over. That's the reasoning for our 9,000 foot flight plan. We got a couple other people in the sky with us. We got Canadian Matt. It is a nice looking airplane. Get to see our dashboard in there. No detail left undone. Alright, it looks like we're leveling out, so I figured I'd go back into the cockpit real quick. Alright, our throttle's set at 92% here. So we should be going up to about 220 knots for our cruise altitude. We'll let that settle. Make sure we're keeping care of the airplane, and we'll check our oil pressure, temp, and torque and everything. Make sure everything's all balanced there. We're at 200 knots. 203. We're slowly getting there. It's ticking away. We might have to adjust our altimeter there. So what were we at? 29.92. Yeah, we adjust it. We're adjusting it to 30.05. We'll contact Salt Lake City for flight requests following.
Salt Lake Center, Donner Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is type Donner TVM 98 miles west of Kilo Charlie Tango Bravo 9,100 feet. Request flight following.
Donner Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Salt Lake Center. Squawk 5365.
Squawk 5365 Donner Golf Sierra Alpha.
Donner Golf Sierra Alpha radar contact 10 miles west of Kilo Charlie Tango Bravo 9,000 feet. Altimeter 30.04.
Alright, we adjusted our altimeter to their reading.
Roger, Donner Golf Sierra Alpha.
And we are A-OK with ATC. So, yeah, adjusting the altimeter there, that's what boosted our cruise altitude speed back up to a normal cruise speed rate for our throttle being at 92.3%. Alright, so now let's go back. We are flying over Mission Lake here. It's going to be right behind us. That is Mission Lake. The reasoning that I know that is because I'm keeping an eye on the flight plan here, and I noticed we just crossed over Mission Lake. So we are getting... So a little bit about Montana. I've actually spent a little bit of time in there a while back. One beautiful state. Always said that I would love to retire here. The eastern part of Montana is relatively flat, but the western part is where all the mountains are. So there is actually a bunch of Indian reservations out here on the eastern part of Montana. And the western part, where the mountains reside, is a little more densely populated with some cities like Helena, Butte, Big Sky, stuff like that. So we're going to be heading out from the eastern part. We're landing in Marion, Montana. So we were going from Cut Bank, Montana to Marion, Montana. So that's our flight plan. That's our agenda today. I don't know, like a quick update on the financials here for NeoFly. We're currently sitting at 2.6 million in cash. Very surprising, despite that we just dumped a lot of money into the home base buildings and runways and everything. And also rented out a CJ7 or CJ4 for Snoop, and we hired another pilot, so we're getting for a co-pilot for that plane. So we're bridging the gap here between cash and equity. So our total equity is still rising at 4.6, almost $4.7 million, and we have a little over $1 million in deposits out on rental planes. So that is that. So yeah, that's it. That's all the update I got. We're just cruising along here. We're going to hopefully do some flights, build that home base. I think I almost got it. I haven't tested it yet, but I think I understand the process on how to design and lay that in there. It doesn't seem too bad. I just gotta... I thought I found a spot for it, but it wasn't big enough. So, yeah, we're going to try to find another spot that has a decent clearing on the ground for it. So, definitely tricky to do that. So, we'll hopefully get that done. Due time for patience. We're only on day number 26 here, and we grew this thing pretty fast. So it looks like we might be coming into some clouds. And yeah, I think there might be some rain involved with that. Let's go ahead and see our radar here. Bloop. Bloop. Traffic, flight plan, system options, utilities. It's not that. Systems, electrical power, no. I could have sworn before you can actually pull up a weather radar. Like that. I don't know what this is. Alright, it might just be easier to check the weather externally. Maybe we'll pull up windy.com and see if that is rain or not, or we can just I don't know, fly into it and see. It'll start raining. So we'll wait a minute. We're already using a bunch of utilities here, so alright. So 9,000 feet is the safe clearance over these mountains. We're still good on ATC. Cruise altitude, or cruise speed 222, or 221 and a half. Alright, so yeah, 4-seater back there. Nice little passenger view. See what kind of mountains we got coming up. Nice, so off to our right is Dancing Lady Mountain. We're almost coming up to it. I'm gonna guess it might be this. It is this. So this is Dancing Lady Mountain. And then coming up ahead of us, we got Red Crow Mountain. So yeah, we're getting into the thick of it now. Alright, so we might hit a little turbulence up here, so buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting into mountain territory again. Very ominous with the cloud cover. Kind of tempted to raise my elevation a touch, but we'll keep it at this. Get a nice close view of the mountains. So coming up here, this right here is that Red Crow Mountain. Kind of hard to see with the fog. Is that fog or is that rain? Hasn't started raining yet. So visibility getting a little low here on the inside of the cockpit. Definitely ominous here. This is what you get with live weather. Live time. So, beautiful scenery here. You can definitely see a little more visibility inside than out. Oh, yeah, there's the rain. I don't know if you can see it on the windshield. So we got some rain coming. As we pass over that mountain. Alright, we got no visibility on the outside as well. So we're going blind here with the weather. Not much I can point out when it's raining out. We're going to go ahead and turn on our cabin light. Boop. We're going to try to turn on our cabin light. There you go. How much of a difference does that make with the rain? A little bit. Yeah, so we're hitting some rain here. We got zero visibility inside. A little more visibility outside. We're cruising through the mountains. And we have 49 nautical miles to go here, so not much time left. We're about halfway through the flight. We have 11 minutes to the top of our descent, and we're still getting some rain here. Alright, let's go ahead and switch out. Exterior view, we got no visibility. This is a pretty good storm over here, heading into the mountains in Montana. We'll see if it clears up by the time we get to our destination. Over in, what was that called? It was Cabin something. Cabin Creek Landing Airport in Marion, Montana is where we're headed to. We'll check the weather. Maybe we'll do that now. Alright, let's go to windy.com. Let's head up to Montana. Alright, we got a little bit of visibility outside. Rain still there. Cruise speed picking up. We're going to adjust our altimeter to our radar contact. We're going to go ahead and reduce our throttle here a little bit. Oh, we got a lake coming up. Let's go ahead and check our navigation map and see what that is. Alright, so that is Hungry Horse Reservoir that we're coming up. Canyon Creek boat landing. So it might be clearing up a little bit. We might luck out here. Still passing through. So it's currently not raining, but it does look like we are going to start picking up a little bit of rain as we pass through this little band of rain that's there. So clearing up a little bit. I guess we don't have to check the radar. Well, we'll still check the radar. I'm always curious how accurate the live weather is. Yeah, there is a little bit of clouds and radar, or clouds and storms. So I think Marion, we are basically sitting like right here. We're on our way to this destination, so a little bit of cloud cover here. We're approaching the top of our descent. So we are 9.2 nautical miles away from the top of our descent, 30 nautical miles away from our destination here over at Cabin Creek Landing. So it's about a medium length runway, I think. I think it was, what, 30... What's the length of the runway that we're landing on? 3,300 feet, so not too bad. We got the reverse thrusters here on the 930, so we should be good to go on that aspect of it. And we're going to be making a left-hand turn over by Lone Lake, which we are... That is we're 6.5 nautical miles away from Lone Lake. So we're going to go ahead and get here in preparation for our landing. So we're going to turn on our landing lights, make sure we don't forget about that. And we will reduce our elevation down to 5,600 feet. We'll go 5,700 for good measure. Gonna go ahead and cut power a little bit so that we can get our descent going. What is our job here? Are we carrying passengers or cargo? We're carrying passengers. Ooh, I should probably serve them some drinks right towards the end. Keep them happy. They're only at 67%. We want to keep our reputation up in NeoFly. We're currently at 97.265 reputation, so we're doing good in that aspect. So it is cleared up once we drop the elevation, so that is good. Alright, so we're down to 5,700 feet. good. I think that has enough to clear that. We are at the top of the, we are 0.6 nautical miles away from our top of our descent. We're going to go ahead and take a sip of coffee here. I think I'm finally waking up. We better, right? We're going to be landing on a runway in about a second. We're going to hit those reverse thrusters that this plane has. So there you go. You got the reverse thrusters here. Very good stuff. Alright, we are at the top of our white arc here. So we're going to deploy our flaps. Let's go ahead and get an whoa, didn't mean that button. Let's go ahead and get a exterior view. I don't think I've ever done that of deploying the flaps. So we're going to go to, it's like 10 or 15 degrees. So there's our flaps. That was 10 degrees. We're going to hop back in here, increase our throttle a little bit to counteract the drag that the flaps give. And we're going to remain at our slow approach to the airport. So we battle the storms of the mountains. That was an interesting flight over there for sure. Montana will always have a special place. It is unforgiving with the elements of the nature of the mountains. That's why I remember when I was there. So it's a different lifestyle for sure. I noticed that a lot of people carry guns around, and I remember asking someone about it, and they said, yeah, it's not really, it's basically for protection. So like when all these people who are living here, this was in Big Sky that I was asking somebody. It was like deep into the mountains, and they said when you take a trip outside of the city or outside of the town and you're driving through this desolate area, there's so much like dangerous wild animals that if your car breaks down, the other aspect to it is like cell phone service isn't good there. So your car breaks down, you have no cell service, you're walking. And they said, you know, there's dangerous animals out there that will attack. So having a gun on hand for protection is sort of a necessity for living out here. So just a little interesting fact from the time that I spent over in Montana. Mother Nature definitely to be respected, and you know, it has its beauty, but it could be dangerous in many aspects. So it looks like we're gonna luck out here, and we won't have to do a landing in the rain, being live weather, live time, live weather. But yeah, I am enjoying this plane though, 930. I hope you guys are as well. Eventually one day, want to get into the CJ4. Just rented one for Snoop or AI Pilot, and they are cruising along on some VIP missions. That ding is our flight attendant finished serving her drinks. We got some scared passengers. They're at 74%. They're not too bad. I guess the rain scared them a little bit, so we're going to do a little safety instruction and see if that eases their mind. We're in control of this plane. All right, so we got 10 miles to the airport, ladies and gentlemen. We're about 5 miles away from our approach. How's ATC doing? We're gonna go ahead. We are going to 97 MT, Cabin Creek Landing. We're gonna tune into their tower. And we're gonna select runway number 20. Announce our full stop. They have no comm frequency there. So we'll announce our position first.
Tango, traffic Donner Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha 10 miles northeast, 5,700 feet inbound to land runway 20.
Once we make our turn, we'll announce our final. We're coming up to that lone lake, I think, right on the other side of that. While we're getting there, we're gonna drop our landing gear. Alright, landing gear is down. We're getting ready for our landing here. We don't have runway in sight just yet. It's gonna be off to the left. Is it that up there on the mountain? No. Hopefully we'll see it when we get our turn. So we can actually drop our elevation down to 5,000 feet. We'll do that slowly but surely. Alright, we should be making our left-hand turn. I increased the elevation there because we were pretty close to that mountain. Skimming over the top. I think we needed to do that or else we would have ran into it. Alright, so now there's our runway. We're just going to go ahead and turn autopilot off. Go ahead and take control of the airplane here. I feel like I'm kissing the windshield. Alright, well, I certainly am glad the rain has stopped. We're going to do a little wind check. We got 15 knot wind almost into our face, so that's ideal. we got our safety check for our passengers complete. Those trees certainly do block the runway a little bit. We're gonna increase our speed just a touch. We're gonna have to come in at a little higher pitch here. Alright, this is a small airport. Bring this thing down. Do a nice soft landing here.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
Alright, we made it right to the end of the runway there. So we're going to get rid of the reverse thrust. We definitely needed that to land on that runway. Got some cars passing by. Let's go ahead and zoom in on our navigation map, figure out where the parking is. So we need to turn around and then it'll be on the left. There's a little parking on the right hand side there. We got a tow guy. But the general aviation parking here is right over here. There's the fuel pump. There's the cabin, ladies and gentlemen. That is the airport. So we're going to go ahead, set our parking brake here. Let's go ahead and check out this airport here. So this is Cabin Creek Landing Airport. So that is just a little radio dish there. So just little Cessnas. This is kind of a big plane to be landing in this airport, but beautiful scenery here. There's another cabin. Kind of curious about the history of Cabin Creek Landing Airport. Maybe we'll do that one day, but we'll go ahead and go in here. We got our passengers waiting to unboard. So we got our parking brake on. We can shut off our pitot heat. We're going to cut fuel. That'll end the mission.
Transporter. Disembarking of passengers can begin.
We're going to hit our crash bar. We're going to turn our throttle off.
Transporter from dispatch. Everyone is on the bus. Check that they haven't forgotten anything. Have a nice day.
Alright, definitely not the smoothest landing on that one, but small airport.
Everything's on board.
So we check our log here. Yeah, that was minus 326. So yeah, definitely not the smoothest landing, but this isn't the best airport for this plane. There was a lot of those trees. We were coming in at a pretty good clip, and it's a short runway for this plane. So is what it is there, but everybody's safe and sound. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. That was just a little leisurely flight today, this afternoon. And we certainly do appreciate you tuning in here. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We give you a quick update before I part ways here. What are we looking at here? So our bush trip plan. We are planning out our Hawaii flight. So right now I got it at 8 legs. I was looking to see if I can trim down leg number 1 and leg number 2, because they're a little lengthy, but there's some stuff out here that we wanted to see. We're actually taking off and landing at the same airport, but it's going to be a round trip 182 nautical mile flight. So I don't know, maybe I'll figure out a different plane to go. Right now we're scheduled for the Cessna 172, but it's not the slowest, it's not the fastest plane, so that's why it's going to take so long. But I don't know, I'll bid you farewell. Hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday, and we will see you tomorrow morning.